It's Hannah here. So I recently finished this sketchbook. I mentioned doing a bit of a walkthrough video and a few people said they'd be interested, so here you go. So on the front of this sketchbook I've got this freak out and do it anyway sticker, which was designed by me. The sketchbook was a gift, but I think it's by Talons or Jallens. It says art creation, guaranteed quality since 1899. So I originally started this sketchbook last August when I was doing a natural history illustration course. So right at the very front we've got a load of studies of some sunflowers that were in the garden. That's more sunflowers there. And then there's also some sketches of birds, and the pen sketches here were all added way more recently because, you know, it's my sketchbook, I can do what I want. Chronology doesn't really matter. So these are a few more quick sketches from last August. This one's of a tomato plant, and we've got a random bird there. This pen drawing is from this April, and it's of the cafe in my local park. And it's around then that I actually was starting to do a lot more observational drawing from life and being like, yeah, I'm not actually that bad at this. And so tried to keep it up a bit more. So then sort of flash forward a month after lots of health problems. And this is a drawing of some of my friends when we met up for a picnic in May. Half of them do not look at all like what they normally look like, but I still quite like this drawing because it reminds me of the day. And then it was from this point on really that I started keeping the sketchbook really regularly. So got some notes from a London drawing group class, some drawings there, more sunflowers, and there's lots of drawing with your eyes closed in this class. So here are quite a few sort of association and eyes closed. Then we've got a load of notes for a work project. I've sort of covered up some of the details because it's not in the public eye yet. Then I've got a little drawing to commemorate my second AstraZeneca jab there with a little sticker. Then a drawing of, so our garden squirrel returned and the pigeons didn't seem very happy, so it says sort of, guess who's back. More garden inspired art, this time with our very aggressive magpies chasing off all the pigeons. It says I'm the queen of the garden. That's in Posca paint pens. Mandala here, so using sort of a six-fold symmetry construction at the centre and then working outwards. Repeat pattern done using Posca paint pens. More work notes. Little drawing I did for Eid using metallic brush pens, Eid Mubarak, and the designs are inspired by some dandelions that I was looking at in the garden that day. So this is a page just filled with lots of different patterns, which I think I worked on over a few different days. Quite a lot of these were done during Zoom meetings, I think. So this was drawn in a social with the London Association of Illustrators group from the Good Ship Illustration. And so that was a 30-second sketch of a penguin statue, some doodles of plants and things. That was a 1-minute sketch with my non-dominant hand, it's my left hand. That was 3 minutes with non-dominant hand. I really, like, I would encourage anyone who feels like you get stuck with perfectionism to do these sort of drawings. So this was drawing with my left and right at the same time. And in this case, I sort of drew it in a mirror image, I guess. And then this one was left and right at the same time, but less of a mirror, therefore more of a mess. That was a 5-minute sketch of that same penguin that you saw earlier. And that, I think, was a 10-second peacock. So they pretty much yelled out peacock and gave us 10 seconds to draw it. More work notes. This was a plan for a how to draw video of the octopus stinkhorn fungus for the British Ecological Society. If you have a look at their YouTube, you can actually see the session. A few notes on sort of portfolio, random sort of collage drawing using a Specsavers leaflet, I think. This is a drawing based on the cover of a book called Inheritance. More random sketches, random doodles, more sort of playing with this idea of having more ideas than spoons, more ideas than energy rather than time being the constraining factor. This was a line drawing of all my meds that I was on at that particular time. Colour pencil sketch of my mum's sort of potting table in the back garden, and a pen drawing of her hanging baskets also in the garden. This is lots of little sketches from watching Guardians of the Galaxy on TV, and then some more notes from a illustrator's sort of social session. A little bit more mixed media. So this was a leaflet from the hip oat milk chocolate company. I cut up and added quite a lot of silver and black detail to with paint pens. Pen sketch of the kitchen. I'm particularly fond of that utensil pot. Looking back at it, it makes me happy every time I look at it. Pen sketch of our bookshelf, which I'm a bit less fond of because it sort of lacks depth, I think. And then some drawings of one of our windowsills, which I really like. Some random patterns. These were made from drawing around some clothes tags that had arrived on a dress. So one of them had scallops on the edge and the other one was sort of a circle with scallops that I sort of drew around, twisted, drew around again and coloured in. Some notes from the Good Ship illustration Fly Your Freak Flag course. And then this is my permission slip from the Good Ship illustration, which I absolutely love. It says, "I, Hannah Ayub, commit to play without self-conscious editing, share my work freely without fear of criticism, and to dive headfirst into this course." I think this was a quote from the course by Neil Gaiman, sort of about how, you know, nobody else has. I should probably read it out, shouldn't I? So it says, "The one thing you have that nobody else has is you. Your voice, your mind, your story, your vision. So write and draw and build and play and dance and live as only you can. The moment that you feel that just possibly you are walking down the street naked, that's the moment you might be starting to get it right." And I did sort of quite classic sort of mandala doodles around the outside. That was a sketch from my hotel window in Cheltenham when I was there for the Science Festival. And that was a little sketch of an umbrella outside the VIP room at the Science Festival. This was part of the Fly Your Freak Flag course. So it was just some drawings of photographs that we have around the house. And this was drawings of things that were on display around the house. Some random notes there. After many weeks of struggle, my doctors put me on 8 weeks of antibiotics, which is about as fun as it sounds, but seems to be doing the job. So I decided to commemorate that by drawing the medicine boxes. I've got some sort of colour charts from pens in there, and then a sketch of my mum watching TV. More colour charts, and then just some photos that I took of myself when I needed passport photos. Don't worry, I didn't actually use these. This was a 5-minute sketch out of my bedroom window, and this was same view but a 10-minute sketch. This was the first time I sort of watered down Posca and Posca paint pens, and quite enjoyed doing that. And this was a 15-minute, it's a lot busier. I think actually the 10 minutes is probably my favourite. There's a quick redraw of, I think this was from a Faber-Castell leaflet for some pens, and I sort of redrew the woman in it. Got some WandaVision fan art here, which I'm not particularly happy with, but you know, sketchbooks are mostly about practice and you know, continuing to draw. It doesn't really matter if everything isn't something you like. That was a sort of draw in my own style of a card that a friend sent me. This was just something I saw online that I decided to try out, so I did lots of little different coloured blobs and then turned them all into faces. More notes, some drawing whilst watching Loki, because the design in it is absolutely amazing. Just some notes about a digital project, cut out some printing that I did, which was in a session by Framo, and stuff that in. Some more Loki doodles there. Miss Minutes, I love her. Then some doodles, sort of mandala stuff, another cut out of a print. This was basically fan art of Sisu from Raya and the Last Dragon, that I drew whilst watching it and then finished the day after, because those scallops took ages and I have no idea why I committed myself to them. Random sticker from our new toaster, because for some reason it cracks me up. And this is a drawing of a pond near our house. Some more drawings of the ducks and pigeons and things that were hanging out by the pond. And then me and the friend that I was with decided to go to the farm, and I ended up adding quite a lot of her quotes to things. So it says, "Oh, you big lump of pig," a sketch of a pig, with her and a pig. More pigs. Pigs are amazing. That is like one of my newfound discoveries. Well, not newfound, but visiting the farm has made me love them a lot more. It's sort of photos of my friend and some drawings of my friend and some sheep. More sheep. Going munch, 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 as they do. I've got some more pigs there, which were coloured in when I got home, I think. And I think I might have also darkened the lines. More printing from the session with Framo. This is a bee orchid, which I drew whilst following along with the British Ecological Society draw along that I mentioned earlier. And then the same with this basking shark, and that's some more printing there. More printing. I love this caterpillar. And this was a little piece that I did using sixfold symmetry in a workshop that I ran on sixfold symmetry with Katie Steckles, the maths communicator. This was a drawing of part of our kitchen, but done as a memory drawing, so sort of stand, look, go away, draw where you can't see it. And then this was some more memory drawing of our hallway with lots and lots of plants. And that's it. That's like this sketchbook, which was mostly filled in 2 months. I don't like every drawing in it, but I collectively am very happy that I filled it, and I feel like a more confident and better artist as a result of drawing almost every day for the last 2 months. So it is something I would recommend, keeping a sketchbook. Maybe not the drawing every day. So thank you for watching. If you've got any questions, let me know.